My name is Scott Holmes, and in 2026, I went from zero to $265,000 in sales to date on Walmart. And in this video, I'm going to talk about how to figure out what sells well on Walmart. The problem with Walmart is that they don't provide a lot of data because their API is closed. So if you look at an Amazon product page, you can see all of the different metrics, like how much the item is sold, how much it's sold for, and all of that sort of history. Walmart doesn't provide any of that. So it's a bit of a blind guess, but I've synthesized it down to 4 steps that I've used over and over again to buy products and try them out for Walmart. Step 1 is to look at the Amazon sales volume. And I know this sounds like kind of obvious, a little bit dumb, but it is something that I use as sort of a baseline. Like, does this product sell well anywhere? And if the answer is yes, it probably sells decently on Walmart as well. I usually assume 10 to 15% of volume from Amazon. I would say more like 10%, 15% is sometimes a little generous, but some stuff does have that much volume. So for example, if I was looking at this product on Amazon and it says here it sells 1,000 times a month, I would probably assume it sells 50, 100, maybe 150 times a month on Walmart. Now, this can vary greatly depending on the product. I would say that usually the most accurate stuff is stuff in like the grocery category or just cheaper stuff, groceries, home supplies like paper towels, stuff like that is usually much more accurate. Higher ticket stuff, really expensive stuff like really expensive tools or like a really expensive like computer, something like that. Translation's probably not 10 to 15%, but that's usually the baseline I would assume, and then assume a little less if it's a more expensive item. The next thing to look at is verified reviews. So it's super important to understand that Walmart product pages have 2 types of reviews. There's imported reviews and verified reviews. So if we look at this product page right here and we click on their reviews and we scroll down, we can see some of them are imported, which means they've been taken from another website and brought on to Walmart to provide like reviews when the product was first launching. We don't want to take any merit from this because this doesn't indicate any volume on Walmart. What we want to look for is verified reviews. Verified reviews are far and away one of the best indicators of how well a product sells. So if we look at, you can filter by only verified reviews, and then we can look at all the verified reviews this product has. In terms of gauging sales volume, I would say something usually sells pretty well if it has 1 or more verified reviews in each of the last few months, or let's say 10 verified reviews this year. Walmart, there's not as many reviews left as there are on Amazon. I have stuff that we sell that has like 10 reviews and it sells really well, right? On Amazon, that would never happen. Anything with like significant sales volume is going to have hundreds or thousands or tens of thousands of reviews. So that would be my advice, is if it has like 10 or more in the last 6 months or in 2026, probably sells decently well. What you really want to avoid is something that has verified reviews. Most recent verified reviews are in like 2022 or 2021, or I've seen some like 2018. That's really not a good sign. That's a sign the product probably used to be a good seller and is no longer. Obviously, there's exceptions to this. Sometimes like maybe the reviews aren't showing up for whatever reason, or Walmart's not incentivizing reviews from customers, but usually I would assume that product probably doesn't sell that well. Step 3 is looking at how well the brand sells. So once you bring one product onto Walmart, you can start looking at how well that product sold based on step 1 and 2, right? How well did it sell on Amazon? How many verified reviews are there? So if you have a brand, right, and it has 3 products or 5 products, if you bring one of the products on, you say, okay, it sold 100 times a month on Amazon and I brought it into Walmart and it sells 15 times a month and it had 5 verified reviews in the last 6 months. So now when I bring on another product from this brand, right, product number 2, and I look at it, I see it sells 50 times a month on Amazon and it has 3 verified reviews, right? And so you can kind of like copy and paste those metrics over. So if 15% of sales from Amazon translated for another product in that brand, you can probably assume that the same thing or something similar to it will apply for the second product in the brand. This is why I would totally advise you guys, once you get one brand that's selling well on Walmart, try to carry everything you can across that brand. You'll have somewhat of a much more educated guess on how much you should purchase for that brand. Step 4 is test purchases. This is something I use a lot, especially if it's a brand we've never sold before. I do this on Amazon and on Walmart. I'm totally fine breaking even on the first purchase order just to get a sense of how well the item sells, right? That's all we want. We want a sense of how well the item's going to sell on Walmart. And so I'll go to the supplier and say, hey, like we'll buy 5 units of this and maybe I lose 10% or maybe I lose a couple bucks. That's totally okay. I'm just trying to like see if it actually has any volume. And so once I get a sense of the volume and sell 5 to 10 units that I buy for break even, I can then go back and buy 100 units or 150 units. This has definitely saved me for some pretty big purchases. We We have a brand that we sell a lot on Amazon and it sells really well. And I bought some from our supplier thinking it was like small test buy. I was buying what, 10 or 20 units, and we still have a lot of that product, right? It's been like 6 months. And so had I not done a test buy and had I just said, okay, let's look at the Amazon volume. Okay, it sells 3,000 times a month or whatever. I'm just, making up numbers. Okay, it'll sell 300 times a month. Had I bought 300 of these items for Walmart, we would have been absolutely screwed. We would have had this stock for years and years and years unless I absolutely tanked the price. Test buys, if you're really unsure, if in the scenario I'm talking about, there just wasn't very many verified reviews. So I had to basically just kind of try to extrapolate off Amazon volume. And thankfully I did a test buy before I was going to do the real order. And we still have the test buy, or not all of it, but a lot of it. So definitely do test buys if you're not sure. You don't want to end up getting stuck with inventory. It's better to break even and know exactly how much you should be buying from a supplier. So just to recap, step 1, look at Amazon volume and assume 5 to 15% depending on the type of item and the category it's in. Step 2 is look at verified reviews. Make sure you're filtering for verified reviews. There's tons of listings that have like 1,000 imported reviews and like 3 verified reviews, right? And so people think they're going to sell a ton and then they don't sell at all because it's not actually people buying them. It's just reviews imported from the brand's website or from a different website. Step 3, look how well, once you sell one item from a brand, look at that volume compared to Amazon, look at the number of verified reviews, and try to kind of copy and paste that for other items you're going to carry. And that's more of like not only just seeing how well it sells, but seeing how much you should buy from your supplier off the bat. And then step 4, test purchases. Definitely do test purchases, especially if you're unsure. Don't get stuck with inventory. Don't end up in a situation where you have to tank the price to sell through all the inventory. That's it for right now. Those are the 4 steps I would use to determine whether or not something sells on Walmart. If you guys like videos like this, please let me know. I don't really see anyone else making long form Walmart content out there, so that's why I'm kind of throwing my hat in the ring here.